After racing through 3 countries for over 78 hours and 16 stages, 8 seconds is all that separates Andy Schleck from defending champion Alberto Contador. In front of them for stage 17 is the Col du Tourmalet, the highest point on the tour and the summit finish for the day. Contador just needs to hold on to his lead in the mountains. If he does, the last obstacle to his 2nd consecutive title is a time trial. Against the clock, he's superb. Andy Schleck is not.
We're looking straight into the eyes of the yellow jersey. He's still sat on the wheel on the Col du Tourmalet of the white jersey, Andy Schleck. But still the question mark remains, when will Andy Schleck attack?
The climb up the Col du Tourmalet is over 11 miles long. The gradient averages 7%. Like the riders that prove themselves here, the mountain's difficulty is considered beyond category.
There's Andy Schleck's move.
Well, this has to be now because he's lost all his teammates. Now it's time. It's come down to the top 2 riders in the Tour de France. Schleck grits his teeth.
Andy Schleck is taking no prisoners here this afternoon.
This rider has decided not to rip off on the front by lifting the speed, but to take it to the limit and see if he can really ride Contador off his wheel.
Schleck is accelerating a fraction here, trying to break.
Well, this is what Contador used to do. He doesn't look in any trouble yet.
Andy Schleck is riding like a man possessed. He has got nothing to lose this afternoon, Phil. All he's got to try and do is see if he can grab back that yellow jersey.
This has become a personal battle now. The Tour de France is a sideshow. It's Schleck versus Contador.
Schleck kicking once again, as he probably thinks in the back of his mind that he can break Contador. Contador just sitting there waiting to see whether or not this man in front of him has got the pressure, got the acceleration to really put him into difficulty. Neither rider for the moment, Phil, showing any sign of weakness at all.
Well, this is almost insane. It's such a wonderful atmosphere here. The crowd shouting these 2 riders up. The very 2 riders they expected to see. Showdown on the Col du Tourmalet.
He doesn't care, Andy Schleck, this afternoon, whether he cracks or not, because as far as he's concerned, it's win or lose, and that's what it's all about. And Andy Schleck acceleration again. This is a phenomenal work that Andy Schleck is doing on the front end of the race.
He's increased the tempo here. Contador's matching him.
Contador's going.
And he's gone. And is Schleck going to answer that one? I'm not sure he can, because this is going to be a massive attack. Andy Schleck, though, has got all of the courage that has come to him in this Tour de France. Look at that. He's back on him.
That was a very vicious acceleration by Alberto Contador, but slowly the Luxembourger has clawed his way back.
That was a superb recovery. Look now at Schleck staring into the eyes of Contador.
That was a stare right into the face of Alberto Contador by Andy Schleck. Not only is he trying to get the yellow jersey this afternoon, Phil, he wants to win this stage as well, because this is a stage of legends. 100 years ago, the Tour de France included the Col du Tourmalet, and Andy Schleck knows all about history.
Well, they paid homage to the mountain today with one of the greatest climbs by 2 riders in the history of the Tour.
Andy Schleck getting out of the saddle one more time. It's going to be a big preparation now for the final sprint to the top.
Contador, is he going to try and sprint for the line?
He will go for it if he can.
They look at the finish line. They can reach out and touch it. They start the sprint side by side, and this is a huge effort. Alberto Contador, though, wants a stage win, and they're going to cross. That was incredible. Schleck wins. Contador takes 2nd.
Schleck has taken the stage, but Contador still holds the Tour lead. For all their work, their effort, and their pain, there is still just 8 seconds between them. The fog-covered Tourmalet has given little clarity as to who is the strongest man in this year's Tour. The answer will be revealed further down the road. Time is running out for Andy Schleck. In the race against the clock, he'll have one last shot at the defending champion. Coming up, it's the decisive time trial and the spectacular finish of the world's toughest race. After over 2,000 miles and 3 weeks of racing, Alberto Contador and Andy Schleck are separated by only 8 seconds. But to make up time on Contador, Schleck would have to have the time trial of his career.
3,500 kilometers ridden, and we're talking of less than 90 meters between them.
No more tactics. You throw all of the rule books away. You ride against the clock. You ride against yourself. You've got to get it into the frame of mind that you are going to do something very special.
I would say we are about to see a big surprise here. Contador, who was ahead, is behind at the first official check. This is absolutely amazing. Nobody expected that. Andy Schleck in the white jersey is pile driving on. He knows he's within 2 seconds of taking yellow by the finish of this day. And that would be the most incredible end to a Tour de France in living memory.
Alberto Contador, we've seen dominate individual time trials. I've got a feeling he's on the ropes.
The wind is having its effect, and perhaps also a little matter of 3,500 kilometers over the mountains of France. Well, there's the pain on the face here of Andy Schleck. The clock is saying Contador is moving 13 seconds ahead in the battle for yellow now. Schleck has really given us his best shot today, just as he had throughout 3 weeks of racing.
Andy Schleck came out very fast. It was a big risk to try and do that, but it did put the pressure onto the shoulders of Alberto Contador. But now we're starting to get into the final few kilometers. Contador realizes he's got to keep this pressure on.
Andy Schleck.
This must be the best time trial performance of his career.
Listen to the crowd as they bring him on home now. Andy Schleck now will finish second in the Tour de France. He's in. Contador's continued to gain ever since the second time check. And as he now comes home, the final kick, Alberto Contador today wins the Tour de France.
At their best, athletes force us to reimagine what is possible. Few could have predicted Schleck's ride today. He lost time to the yellow jersey, but nowhere near as much as expected. He's down by 39 seconds, the exact time Contador gained when Schleck lost his chain. The final stage of the Tour is more of a parade than a race, as the peloton coasts through the outskirts of Paris. At long last, they put enjoying the journey ahead of winning it. Taking time to replace calories and fluids, savoring brotherhood instead of competition. Like the knights that once rode through Europe on horseback, cyclists have a sense of honor they've designed themselves. It provides their code of conduct on the road. It is what's earned by the men that help others to win. And it lives forever with every cyclist that can say, I completed the Tour de France. Onto the Champs-Élysées, and as one, Lance Armstrong and the peloton dig into their reserves. A furious sprint for a last shot at glory.
Forget it, because Mark Cavendish is streets ahead of the Tour de France.
Don't forget Alberto Contador, third victory in the Tour de France.
For the second year in a row, Alberto Contador takes the top of the podium, with Andy Schleck right by his side, while Lance Armstrong would just enjoy his final ride into Paris.
It's definitely the last time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, you know, it's been a tough 3 weeks. I think it's been a tougher tour than all of us expected in the bunch. It's certainly been tougher for me with the breaks that I had, but you know, no regrets. I wanted to do better for sure, but I was proud to stay in there and finish.
The tour began with the anticipation of the Lance-Alberto feud. It concludes with what is sure to be only the latest heated installment of the Schleck-Contador rivalry. The difference in their talent is tiny. The potential for their story is huge. Only one race is big enough for an epic like theirs. For Paul Sherwin and Phil Liggett, I'm Craig Hummer. We'll see you next year on the legendary roads of the Tour de France.